you are a competitive gamer and you want to improve your reaction time to outplay your opponents, that is very possible, and it does not require you to play an extra 100 hours in aim labs or an aim map or some sort of deathmatch to improve your reaction time. It has a lot to do with what you do outside of the game. What's up, dreamers? Welcome to Driving and Vibing. I want to talk about improving your reaction time as a gamer. If you're a competitive gamer, this is very important, especially if you're FPS. Well, actually, I would imagine I'm an FPS player, but I would imagine every game has a lot to do with reaction time, right? Both physical and mental reaction time. Now, you can play the game a lot and really get that muscle memory down. You can play it a ton, get that muscle memory down, but your reaction time will only be as good as you are feeling, okay? Remember that. That is one of the most important things I'm probably going to say regarding reaction time. Your reaction time is going to be only as good as you are feeling. Now, what do I mean by that? And I'm going to go into a little bit of detail here. You may think you feel good, but realistically, you actually might not. And I'm going to explain this in a second too. I have my daughter in the car. If you think that you feel good, I'm going to tell you an example. When I was playing highly competitive Counter-Strike, okay, many years ago, I didn't pay attention to my health or what I was doing outside of the game at all. I just played hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I didn't really sleep. I went to school. I slept in school. I don't condone that whatsoever. Education is very important. And, all I thought about was Counter-Strike. And I was very inconsistent. My reaction time was good some days, but terrible most days because of how my health was, right? I wasn't sleeping, so my body just could not keep up. It just really could not. And then obviously there are mental cognitive declines that happen when you are at a lack of sleep. You start eating unhealthy, you start drinking all these energy drinks that I was drinking. I mean, there's a whole saloon of issues that come about not paying attention. Fast forward several years when I am about 3 years into my health and wellness, fully focusing, sleeping better, making sure I'm eating well, working out, and Valorant comes out. I played significantly better. My reaction time was better. My cognitive ability was better. I was outplaying opponents left and right. I was much better than I was at Counter-Strike. This is my personal opinion because I don't really have any proof of this, but I was much better because I was more consistent. I was significantly more consistent, and it's 100% related to the fact that I was paying attention to what I was doing outside of the game. A very important factor of reaction time. Now, there's something I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember because I just went on a rant. Oh, feeling good. Now, let's go back. If you think you feel good and you have not started a health and wellness routine, and this is much easier said than done. Like, I can tell you this a million times. People in the past, before I started my wellness routine, before I started lifting weights, before I started running, walking, doing all my health and wellness stuff, people would tell me that, oh, you'd feel better if you did this. And I'd be like, well, I feel great. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel great. But it's because I never actually tried it or went through it. You go through even a small sample of getting over that hump, of getting into your routine and then feeling better, and then revert back to your old ways, you will notice a difference. And I know that's cliche. That probably sounds cliche. It probably sounds like it doesn't make any sense, whatever. And again, when I was if you haven't started a routine, that's the shoes I was in. And I listened to all this and I was like, no way. Like, I know people are saying it makes you feel good and you'll get better sleep and blah, blah, blah. But one, I didn't relate it to gaming, but two, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Then I started my health and wellness routine, and I really felt good. Like, my energy was better, my cognition was better, I was able to actually think properly. I was, just more energy overall. And physically and emotionally, like, even on an emotional level, my mental state was significantly better than it was prior to exercising. And, then, like, there was a couple times where I would have a lapse of not exercising, or I'd go back to my old ways, not heavily, but even the small amount of going back to my old ways, I felt a big difference in both my emotional, my cognitive, or I guess all three, and my physical state. I mean, it really is. Like, you really don't know how bad, quote unquote, bad you feel. And I'm not saying that, take that with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not saying you feel bad every day. What I'm saying is there are, you don't really know how you feel until you really try. You gotta try the routine, get past that initial hump to be able to feel those benefits, and then you'll really understand what I'm saying. It's very important. So what you do outside of the game is very important for in-game. Like if you want to improve reaction time and you refuse to focus on your health and wellness, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be the person to tell you, but you more than likely are not going to be able to keep up with the people outside of the game. And you can say all you want, well, oh, there are gamers who play all day, they don't focus on their health and wellness. There are some they're called genetic, they're like, I'm trying to find I know what I want to say, but I don't want to say the word. It's like a meathead term. Anyways, it's like genetic variants. They're a rare genetic variant that is able to do that without heavily focusing on outside of their game. Okay, what's going on in health and wellness? And I'm going to go ahead and add on top of that, lifestyle is a huge factor. How they were brought up, especially at a younger age, how they may be performing in game is more than likely related to how they're brought up in their life, right? So like I didn't really have any health routines growing up. No offense to my parents, they promoted health as much as they could, but it's like every household is different, okay? Like everybody has their routines, and they do this and that and their thoughts on different areas. Like some families, they eat healthier than others. It's just fact. They drink healthier than others. Like they exercise more. So you don't really know what this person does outside of their game, right? So I mean, you just don't know how their family is, even if they're not doing stuff for themselves. And you don't know their environment and their habits. Environment plays a big role too. So anyways, you can improve your reaction time, and it's not about focusing fully in game, okay? If you have anything to add, if you have any tips of your own, let me know in the comments. Let's get that conversation started, with the comments. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Hit that like button, helps out the channel. Hit that subscribe button for more content like this, and I hope to see everybody in this video. Later, Dreamers.